is there a reason why you buy one or the other?
The main thing really I think would be is what I know about it. And if I don't, I know a little bit about organic, but I don't know very much about the local and what comes in locally. If I knew more about the local, I may buy more locally.
Many people have trouble deciding between whether to buy organic or buy local because they aren't sure which is truly better for them. As mentioned before, organic food is generally food that is raised without most conventional pesticides, synthetic fertilizers, GMOs, or ionizing radiation. In terms of organic meat, the animals must be fed organic feed and be able to roam outside, and they can't be given antibiotics or growth hormones. Recent studies have linked some pesticides to cancer and other chronic diseases, so organic practices make the produce healthier. The meat is also healthier since the animals from which the meat comes from are in better health when they eat organically and are allowed to graze freely. Alternatively, there is no standard definition of what local food is. Generally, the closer to home the food you eat is grown, the more local it is. So the most local food is food grown in your immediate community. Then the next best thing is food grown in your state and then in your region. Even if it's a few states away, it's better than buying food from Chile, which is significantly farther away. Organic certification, however, can be more nuanced than what some people may accept as organic. The USDA has numerous legal definitions and inspection processes required in order to certify a product as organic. If a product is less than 95% organic, then it can't use the USDA organic seal. Because the certification process is so strict and meticulous, many small farmers don't have the ability to certify their produce as organic, even though their produce was grown without any kind of synthetic fertilizer or pesticide or so on. This results in the produce of small, local farmers being local but not certified organic. However, since using pesticides and such isn't sustainable and would therefore be costly for local farmers, most local farmers are organic anyway, they just aren't certified. Now here are some people's thoughts on why they buy organic or local.
As far as organic, what I'm concerned about is the damage that farmers can do to the environment. I'm less concerned about what goes in my body and more concerned about the long-term effects of harsh farming.
I like the idea that it doesn't cross the country before it hits our kitchen table, or it doesn't come from another country. Yeah. It seems like we don't need apples from Chile.
Because organic has less of the junk in it.
Yeah.
And local because I want to support small businesses.
Yeah. Something like oranges that you grow a tree, you have to maintain the tree for a long period of time. It's probably in the grower's interest to keep the soil healthy. So regardless of whether it's organic or not, it's probably being sustainable. It's probably sustainable.
Ethnobotanist Gary Paul Nabhan, who wrote Coming Home to Eat, The Pleasures and Politics of Local Foods, has said, quote, "If you send it halfway around the world before it is eaten, an organic food still may be good for the consumer, but is it good for the food system?" End quote. This question is something that not many people consider, since they mostly only think about their own health. But the effect that food production has on the environment is an important factor to consider when buying your food, especially in order to make it more sustainable and keep the earth healthy. Both local and organic food is produced sustainably, since sustainability is important in keeping the crops and the ecosystem nourished. For example, local and organic farmers often use crop rotation to keep the soil healthy. However, there is a significant difference between local and organic food in terms of effect on the environment. Organic food often has notably higher food miles, the distance your food travels to get to your plate, than local food. Many Americans have grown used to eating any food all year round. Therefore, they would rather their food be flown in from halfway around the world than eat seasonally. As a result, most organic food is shipped from another country to get to your supermarket, frequently losing a lot of its flavor and nutritional value. The CO2 produced by the transportation it takes to get organic food to you is much more than the greenhouse gas emissions produced by that of local food. Since local food is always seasonal, it doesn't require a lot of transportation or storage, even though people would only have limited choices in food selection if they buy locally. This means that local food is generally fresher and has gone through less processing, make it taste better. Also, when you spend in the local food economy, you create a greater income for your community, which can then be used to better where you live and create local jobs, just by supporting the local farmers. Nonetheless, as usual, there are some exceptions to these generalizations. Local farms don't necessarily always practice sustainable agriculture, and since no certification is required to be local, the only way to determine if a local farm is sustainable or not is to ask about it or even ask to take a tour of the farm if it's close enough.